So this is a session designed to alleviate pain through nerve compression throughout the length of the spine by creating a more normal position, mobilizing the joints of the back and the shoulders and hip in order to take the strain off of areas like the lower back. So to start off with, we're going to warm up the body in its full movement. So I want you just to sit on that mat with those legs stretched out and just rub those hands on the length of the legs and just gently roll forward, creating an even curve through your spine. So try not to keep the pelvis vertical and just reach forward and bend more at the top. And likewise, try not to bend all at the lower back and keep the upper back totally straight. Try just to get an even curve through that spine, reaching towards those feet. And then bring that body up to vertical. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Put the hands on the floor behind and push the chest forward. Take the chin to the sky and create a concave curve, or the opposite basically to the rounding forward. Then release those hands on the floor, take them onto those thighs and round forwards. Bending at that hip joint as well. And then coming up vertically, put those hands on the floor behind, bring those shoulders back and down, take the chin all the way up to the sky, lift that chest up, breathing in. Fill those lungs up with air and spread those ribs, and then breathe out and curl that body forwards. Stretching through that back, the entirety of that back. Bring yourself up to vertical again, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, put the hands on the floor, lift that chin all the way up, bring that chest up, breathing in, holding the body in this position, pull that chin into the chest and stretch through that neck. Turn the eyes to the right side of that right leg, lifting that left ear away from the left shoulder. Turn those eyes to the left side of the left leg, bringing that right ear away from that right shoulder. Keep that chest up, keep the body forward, bring those eyes around to the right side of the right leg again, stretching that left ear away from the left shoulder. And then bring those eyes around to the the left side of the left leg, pulling that right ear from the right shoulder. Bring those eyes back to center, lifting that body up. Bring that left hand to the right knee, keeping the right hand behind. Lift that body up and turn round, looking over that right shoulder. Don't let that shoulder hunch up to the ear, keep it down and back. And then come all the way around to the front, put the right hand on the left knee, left behind and turning the other way. So we're getting rotation in that spine, having got the vertebra flat to flat. Turning round to the right again. So we don't want to be rotating while we're slumped because we won't get the full rotation. We want to be up vertical. And then all the way around the other way, lifting and turning. And then come back to the front. Now grab your roller in, now that we've had a little warm up of the back, put the feet flat on the floor. And we're just going to open the spine over the roller. So it's about keeping the curve of the body. So we're not doing excessive bending or flexing of the neck. We move the head backwards by pushing the chest forwards. The head will then go back. See, my chest comes forward, my head stays in alignment with my spine. It stays in that curve. So putting the hands on the roller, rest the elbows back on it. Keep the roller at the bottom ribs, breathing in, breathing out, push this breastbone up to the sky, here pushing up, and the head goes down. You can hold the head in the hands if you want to relieve the strain. Breathing out. Breathe in, lift that body up, move a few centimeters down, breathing out. Lengthen over that roller. Breathing in, lift that head up. Move the roller a few inches up or centimeters up and breathe out. Pushing the breastbone up, letting the head fall down, and then bringing that head back up. Move the roller a few centimeters. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push that breastbone up. Let that head come down. So I'm arching over the roller. If you're lacking in mobility in your spine and you aim to get the head on the floor, you'll be having a massive bend of that neck. So we don't want that. We want the breastbone going up, the head goes down as a result. Bring it back up, move the roller up a bit, breathe in. Breathe out, push that breastbone up to the sky, head comes back. And lift, and move one more. And then let that head rest on the back of the roller. Create the traction and just let it rock gently. Only a tiny movement here, just create some traction. And now take hold of the head in the hands, sliding the roller down towards the bottom ribs, keeping the bum on the floor, and then sliding it all the way back up. All the way up to the base of the neck, all the way down again. Down to those bottom ribs, stretching over the roller. So 2 or 3 up and downs here. All the way up, kind of at this pace. You don't want to be going any faster. All the way down. And now we're going to lean on the right side. So I tilt my body and I just go on those right ribs, keeping in that curve, stretching and rolling. All the way down, all the way up. Now, if you want, you can continue over. It wouldn't do any harm, continuing over, going all the way down, all the way up until you come onto your side. Let that right arm come straight, all the way through that armpit, down to those bottom ribs. If this is uncomfortable, you can shimmy down. You can put the elbow on the floor. You can shimmy down, so you take some of your weight off. If it's not uncomfortable, you can have the arm off the floor and the bum off the floor, and you can move all the way through. I can rock forwards and backwards with my bum down. So I'm mobilizing the bones and I'm massaging the soft tissue. So I'm getting rid of the tension, which will be restricting the shoulder, which will then restrict the rib cage. If the rib cage is restricted, then go all the way down, all the way up, supporting my head, going all the way back onto my back. If your rib cage is restricted, it will restrict the lower back position, and that will restrict the ability to engage the glutes. Onto the back again, all the way up, all the way down, and then rolling over onto the other side. So lifting that right side up, going up and down on the left. So if you're short of time, you don't have to go all the way onto the side, but just doing 2 or 3 up and down in the middle, and then 2 or 3 to one side, and then back to the middle, and then back to one side, will make a massive difference. So obviously be time dependent. Again, if you want to rest your bum down and shimmy down the roller, that's fine. So I go up and down through the armpit, and then I do 1 or 2 where I rock forwards and backwards, and I mobilize those lats, those lower rotator cuff muscles, those shoulder blade stabilizers, and then I go all the way through, keeping that head low, keeping that bum low, and then rolling onto the back, supporting that head all the way over, and then all the way up, all the way down, lengthening. Good. Okay, when you get to when you've done 2 or 3 straight up and down the middle, rest with that roller in that bra strap area. Lengthen those legs out. If you can, rest the head on the floor, lengthen those arms out. Now, if you do this before you do any rolling, you will notice the massive difference after you've rolled. Bring those hands back in, take the head in the hands, bring those knees back up, lift that chin up, and then bring yourself up off the roller. Rest those legs on the floor, move that roller out of the way. Let those feet flat on the, or those legs flat on the ground. Make those feet be vertical. Middle toes, middle ankle, knees pointing upright. Get used to your feet being parallel. Roll yourself forwards to the feet. Now this time, bend the knees and pull your tummy right onto your thighs and lengthen your head up above your toes. So we're not curving that back. We're pulling ourselves forward and we're shutting that hip joint down. So if you haven't got full movement of the hip joint, when you walk, you will bend and flex that lower back area, which is just aggravating it. Reaching up all the way forward with that head, and then push that right knee to the floor. So we stretch those hamstrings. Push that left knee down, push that right knee, push that left knee, push the right, push both knees, keeping that neutral spine, or keeping, so the neutral spine is the spine shape being in line with the pelvis. So there's a bit of curve here, but I'm trying not to be rounded with my back. I'm trying to be straight with my back and bending that hip forward. Bring yourself up to vertical, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, put the hands on the floor, pull those knees down and push that chest forward, take the chin up. This should be easier having rolled. Bring those eyes to horizontal, bring those hands in front, breathing in. Roll yourself all the way down to flat. All the way down, pushing that lower back into the ground first, pushing that middle back, pushing that upper back. Take those hands all the way over your head. Reach, push that right hand away from that right foot. Push that left hand away from that left foot. Push both hands away from both feet. Bring those hands all the way up to the sky. Holding them here. Push those hands up and push that spine into the floor. Now pull those shoulders into the ground and lift that spine up. Push those shoulders up away from the floor, pushing the hands up, push the spine into the floor. Now push the shoulder blades into the ground and let the spine lift up. So I'm pushing my tailbone down and my shoulders down. Now relax. Bring those arms down by your side. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, slide them down. Your spine should be slightly lifted off the ground. Slide your fingers under your bottom. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off those elbows, drawing the tummy in and pulling the pelvis, holding the pelvis down. Push off the elbows and lift the chest up. So we're stretching through that rib cage area, not the lower back. Breathing in, fill those lungs up with air and really spread these ribs. Breathing out, pull those shoulder blades together under your back. Pop your rib cage up above your shoulders. And then release onto the floor. Bring the right knee in, bring the left knee in. Keep the tailbone down on the floor. Bring those knees into your chest and stretch those hips. Release the tailbone and let it lift up and stretch that lower back. Bring the nose to the knees and stretch a little higher. Release. Push the tailbone into the floor. Push the shoulders into the floor. Pull those knees in. Now let those knees drop apart, keeping the shoulders away. So we stretch those inner thighs, which get tight and then prevent or cause the knee to roll in. Prevent the knee to be stabilized properly. Let the knees drop apart, holding them out. Push those knees into the hands. Breathing in, breathing out. Release the push, let those legs drop apart. Stretch that right leg straight. Stretch that left leg straight. Let those knees drop outwards. Rotate those ankles one way. Rotate them the other way. Bend the knees down again and pull those legs back together. Put that right foot on the floor, put that left foot on the floor. Let those legs go out straight, take the arms over the head, Reach and stretch those fingers away from the toes. Right hand from right foot, stretch that side. Then left hand from left foot, stretch that side. Then both hands from both feet. And then pull those shoulders down away from the ears. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky and let them come down on the floor. Bring that right knee in. Take hold of it with those hands. Pull the right knee up towards the shoulder. So you're putting the knees apart, keeping the pelvis across the mat, keeping the spine in line with the long side. Now pull that right knee over your body. Let your left leg be straight and push that right arm away. So I'm pushing that arm away and I'm turning through my ribs here. Try not to turn too much in that lower back, turning through those ribs, pushing. So go easy on this one. If this aggravates, don't do it. And then bring that knee back up. Roll yourself to flat again. Hold that knee and pull it in towards the hip. Roll that knee all the way over the body again, pushing that right hand away, letting that hip lift up, letting the hip here lift and turn. So we're stretching through these ribs. Roll over onto that left hand side. Support the head with the underneath arm and take hold of this top foot in the top hand. Roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Pull the pubic bone forward, pull the tummy forward and pull the breastbone. So they're vertical, they're flat and straight. Taking hold of this top foot, keeping that shoulder back and down. Let the underneath leg swing forwards and then push this top foot into the hand as if you're trying to straighten it and let it extend behind the body. So your bum's clenching, pushing your pubic bone forward. The leg is stretching. You feel the stretch through the front of that hip. Lengthen through that leg. Hold it there. And then you can release. And then you can breathe in and on the out breath, push it into the hand again. Stretch through the front of that leg. So you can do this a couple of times. You can do it 3 or 4 times. It's up to you. Hold it for about 10 seconds and then release. Let go of that leg, roll back onto the back. Pull that knee up in towards the shoulders again, pulling them away from each other. Turn this leg, thread this arm between the leg and the bum. Take hold of that ankle and pull the foot, pushing with your elbow on the knee, pushing it away from you. If you want, you can bring this other leg in and you can hold that other knee and pull that leg in that way and push the hand on the knee here. Push the right hand on the right knee, pull the left leg towards, keeping those shoulders away from your ears. Stretch the glute. So push that knee into the hand. So this is very good for the sciatic pain because it's stretching the muscle that's generally tight around the nerve. Release, lengthen. Let go of the left leg, let it go out straight. Let go of the right foot, pull that right knee in towards your armpit again. Let that right leg go out straight, take the arms over the head and realign yourself. Bring the arms up to the sky and bring the left leg in. Pull the knee up towards the armpit. So shoulders stay back and down, ribs are on the ground, lower back is slightly lifted. Keeping the tailbone towards the floor, pull that left knee in. Breathing in, breathing out. Pull that left leg all the way over the body, letting those ribs turn. Push that left hand away, turn the eyes left. Bringing that breastbone to the sky, keeping those shoulders on the ground. Bringing the tummy button around too. Lengthening, pushing the hip after the knee. Shoulder after the hand. Again, go easy on these rotations. If they're not good, then skip them out. Roll back onto the back. Bring that knee up into the armpit. Do not skip this one out though. Don't skip the knee, pulling the knee in, but I'm pushing the tailbone down so I'm not bending my lower back. My lower back's lifted off the I am stretching in this hip joint. Bring this knee over the body again. I'm rotating through that spine, turning the eyes towards that left hand, pulling that left knee to the floor, pushing that right leg straight. Now roll onto that right hand side. Support the head with the underneath arm. Take hold of this right foot in the right hand. Roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone in a frontal plane, a vertical line. So let that right leg swing forward. Push this left foot into that left hand. Let it push behind you. Try not to let the knee come up above the hip. Try and keep the knee level with the hip. Pushing that left foot into the hand. Keep the shoulder down and back. Let that hip come, let that thigh go backwards. Stretch through that hip. Stretching through that hip. Breathing in. And then release. Let that leg come forward. Breathing in. On the out breath, push that foot into the hand. Stretching through that hip flexor. Lengthening through the front of this leg. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then release. Let go of that foot. Roll back onto your back. Keep hold of this knee. Pull that knee all the way up towards that shoulder. Turn that leg around. Again, thread this left hand under. Hold on to the ankle and pull the ankle towards, pushing away with the elbow. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can bring the right foot up. If you're happy where you are, push that knee up into the hand. If you want to bring the right leg in, rest it against the foot, hold on to it with the right hand, pushing the left hand on the left knee, holding that straight place of stretch, and then push the knee into the hand. Breathing in. Breathing out, release, stretch further, turning that thigh. And then let go of that right leg, let go of the left foot, keep the left knee in, pulling it all the way up towards the armpit. And then take that left leg straight, take the arms over the head, reach and stretch. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Bring that chin into the chest. Roll yourself all the way up. Hands on the legs. Roll yourself all the way up. So be careful of this forward bend. Keep it nice and even. Soften those knees. Bring yourself all the way forward. And then push the right knee down for the hamstring. Push the left knee down. Push both knees down. Bring the toes to the nose and then feel the calf stretch. And then release and sit up tall. Swing those legs around and come onto all fours. So this is a bit more of the same, but now we're going to learn to get into neutral spine whilst on all fours. So if we have a roller, if you see the roller on my back, so we've got to imagine we're on the floor. So all those ribs are touching the roller, back of the head's touching the roller, my tailbone is touching the roller, my slight lift off my waistband is away from the roller, everything else is touching. That's my neutral spine position. So cat and dog, I turn the tailbone down, the roller will fall off, turn the tailbone down, eyes come down, back comes up. And then the other way, turn the tailbone up, bring that head up, push that chest forward towards my hands. Turn that tailbone down, let that back lift up, let the eyes come down. And then turn that tailbone up, bring that chest down, bring the eyes up. Now get into that neutral position again. So the more you lie on your back on the floor in neutral, the more you stand against the wall feeling neutral, the more you put a roller on the back, the more you will become aware of what neutral spine is. In that position, we can glide back. This is the same as pulling the knees into the chest. I'm in neutral. I have not gone into child pose and curved my back like that. I've stayed in neutral. Glide back, come back up. glide back. In this position, pull the knees apart away from each other without moving them on the mat. So you engage the bum muscles and lift up by pulling the knees apart and bringing yourself up. So start to get those glutes to fire up. So in this position, my knees are pulling away and my glutes are fired up. I can lift my right leg off the floor and keep that left leg stabilized by the knee pulling outwards. Put the right leg down, pull those knees apart, stabilize onto that left leg, take the right foot, stabilize on the right leg, taking the left leg off the ground, come back on. So this is walking, these knees pull apart, stabilizes here. So if I glide back, take my hands off the floor, I'm now going to use my bum, clench and come up. I haven't used that lower back. I'm now going to sink my bum back, turning in that neutral spine, easing with the glutes, clench with the big glutes, push the hips forwards, lift up. This is walking. Ease with the glutes, but in walking, you put your foot in front, your knee comes in front. You then clench and you stand up on that leg. You then ease, pulling these knees apart, coming down. Holding yourself here. Okay, come right down onto your tummy. Forehead on the ground. So first of all, neutral spine. So we're going to clench the bum and push the pubic bone into the floor, and that lifts these bony bits up off the floor. And then we release, and the tummy sinks down, pelvis sinks down. Clench with the bum, pelvis lifts, draw in the core, tummy becomes engaged. Tighten those thighs and point those toes so that the legs lift off the ground. They're nice and straight. Push those feet away, become an arrow, become a torpedo. Bring those hands back round level with your eyes, rolling those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Practice holding yourself here. Release. Breathe in, clench the bum, push the pubic bone into the floor. Lengthen the legs, lift them off the ground, draw in that tummy. Lift your belly off the ground, resting on the bottom ribs, the pubic bone. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lengthen the neck. And release. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor, tighten the thighs, lengthen the legs, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lift that tummy up off the floor, hold strong. Bring those forearms up and down. Keep the elbows on the floor. Forearms up and down. Forearms up and down. Holding yourself here and release. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor, lengthen those legs, draw in the tummy. Breathing in, lift those forearms and hands up, hold them there. Lift that right leg up for 3, 2, 1, hold. Lift that left leg up for 3, 2, 1, hold. Put those hands down, slide them back down and put those fingers under the pelvis. Lift the right leg up for 3 without letting the pelvis roll into the fingers for 2. For 1, left leg up, 3, 2, 1. Right leg up, 3, 2, 1. Left leg, 3, 2, 1. Both legs, 3, 2, 1. And lower. If you want to do the runner's stretch first, you can. So you can pause the video and just do that. Rest these arms on the mat again. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs. Draw the tummy in, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Breathing in. Lift that right leg up for 3, 2, 1. Lift the left leg, 3, 2, 1. Lift both hands up. Hold them in the sky with the forearms. Now lift the whole arm up into the sky for 5. Tap the elbow down. 4. Down. 3. Down. 2. Down. 1, hold them high. Lift that forehead off the ground, push the head away from the feet. Pulse those arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them and lower. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Keep those forearms on the mat. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, breathing in. On the out breath, lift that chest up off the ground, pushing the pubic bone into the floor, pushing the breastbone towards the front of the mat, pulling those elbows backwards, lengthening the head, breathing in. And breathing out and release. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back, breathe in. Clench the bum, push the feet into, push the pubic bone in the ground. Draw the tummy in, push the shoulders back and down, lift that chest up, pushing the head towards the front of the mat. And release. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, clench the bum, lift the pubic, push the pubic bone in the mat. Push those feet away, tighten the thighs, knees and feet are off the ground. Draw the tummy in. Using friction on the mat, pull those elbows back without moving them. Visualize you're trying to slide your body forward on the mat, lifting your throat up away from the mat. So if there's a candle under it. Holding here and release. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the mat, lengthen the legs, lift them up, breathing in. On the out breath, lift that upper body up, resting on the bottom rib, pulling those elbows down, putting those shoulders down. Hold yourself here. Lift that right leg up for 3, 2, 1. Lift the left leg, 3, 2, 1. Lift both legs, 3, 2, 1, and release. Breathing in, breathing out. Roll yourself over onto your back. Have those knees bent up. And let's just loosen up that back. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, slide them down. Push the heels into the floor, lift the balls of the feet up. Breathe in. On the out breath, flatten that back and tilt that, bring that pubic bone up. Waistband pushes down. Lower that back down, lower the bum down, tilt the pelvis down, let the lower back lift. Round, bring the tailbone up, and then arch. And then round, so I'm just moving my pelvis, I'm moving, getting blood flow to that lower back area without being extreme. Flatten and round the back, and then arch. Now find that neutral position. So roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Pull all the ribs onto the floor and stretch from the throat to the bottom ribs. Stretch across the front here. Okay, now pulling that, feeling the pubic bone and the bottom and the bony bit here. Visualize when that is horizontal to the ground. So draw your tummy in, as in pull the pubic bone towards the ribs in order to flatten the lower back out a little bit. That becomes our neutral spine. Feel the imprint on the mat, feel the back of the head, feel the shoulders, feel the ribs. Feel the sides, feel your love handle area, feel everything that's touching the floor. Pop those hands on the floor, palms up. Draw in the core like you're stopping yourself having a wee. Lift that left leg up. Keep that knee at 90 degrees. Tap that left foot down for 5. And lift. For 4. Nothing moves except that leg. For 3. And lift. 2. Lift. 1. Leave it on the floor. Bring the right leg up for 5. And tap. 4. Tap. 3, tap, 2, tap, 1, hold in the air. Bring that left leg up. Nothing's moved from my tailbone to the top of my head. Tap that left foot on the floor for 5, and up, 4, and up, 3, exactly the same gap under my back. 2, up, 1, leave it in the air. Take the right leg down for 5 and up. 4 and up. 3, up. 2, up. 1 and up. Take that left leg down, tap it on the floor, slide it on the ground out straight. Slide it back in, lift it back up. Take the other leg down to the floor, slide it on the floor to straight. Bring it back in, lift it back up. Take the first leg down. If that's too easy, you can keep it just off the floor. Slide it out. Have that whole leg just off the ground. Bring that whole leg all the way back in, bring it back up. Take the other leg down, slide it out. So you can pause the video if you like, and you can do 10 with your heels tapping, and then 10 with this leg coming down, and then it goes out straight, and it comes back in, and it comes back up. Take it, the other one to the floor. Take it out straight. Bring it back in. Lift it back up. You can change what you do. Take it down. Take it out straight. Lift it up to the sky. Take it down. Lift it up. Take it down. But there must be no moving through my grey and white. Bring that leg back in. Bring it back up. First leg out straight, up to the sky, down, up to the sky, down, bring it back in, lift it back up. If you're elevated off the floor like we did earlier, so put the left leg down, put the right leg down. So I showed you on the roller. You can bring the roller in, resting, or on the staircase. So again, you're in neutral spine, head's on the roller, all the ribs are on the roller. Small lift on the lower back, so your pubic bone is down and your waistband is up. Lifting those legs off the ground like you had. Take that leg out straight. Lower the heel to the floor, keeping that knee locked. Lift that leg up, lower that leg down, lift that leg up, lower it down, bend the knee, bring it in, straighten it out, lower it down. So whatever you do, bring that leg back in, take the other leg out straight. You must not let that back move. So you challenge it at your pace. I'm giving you variations in order to continue to progress so that you don't get stagnant, but you don't jump before you can walk. If all you can do is lift that leg up and down with the knee bent, that's all you do, and you progress through that. If you jump and start having the legs out straight and your back's moving, you're just practicing poor technique. Okay, so once we've got the core engaged, so we're learning to stabilize here, we've used the glutes with the knees lifting up, then we have to put it into practice with all the walking. So we went through that earlier. So doing about 15-20 minutes of this stuff every day, half an hour, put those legs out straight, will make a massive difference. Bring those arms up to the sky, chin into the chest, roll yourself all the way up to sitting, reaching all the way forward. So after you've done some of that, just loosen that spine up, sit yourself tall. Right hand on the right leg, left hand behind, lift and turn. Back to the front, left hand on right leg, right hand behind, lift and turn the other way. Back to the front. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Put those hands on the floor, push that chest up and forward. Bring those hands all the way forward on the floor, all the way up into circles. Bring those hands all the way forward, hold them up in the sky above your head. Breathing in on the out breath, push those arms up, lift that chest up high, release those hands as you breathe out, rest them on your legs and roll your shoulders. So there's more progressions, there's loads more exercises online. You've got all those links from those classes you did at 9:30 in the morning. There's plenty online for variations. Have fun.